Hello guys. This video is gonna be about geology. I'm gonna be teaching you about divergent, convergent, and transform plate boundaries. Yeah, so let's get started. First I'm gonna start off with divergent, then I'm gonna talk about convergent, then I'm gonna talk about transform boundaries. Okay, so all of those little signs and stuff that you saw at the beginning will make sense after I explain, hopefully. I know a lot of it is confusing. Okay. So divergent plates actually move away from each other and create new ocean floors or continental rifts, which are the two types of lands that divergent plates create. So the seafloor spreading are ridges that are created under the water. Okay, and then continental rifting is actually what happened to the Red Sea. This is actually how the Red Sea was created. This actually happens on a continental plate, so a land plate, not underwater. It's created and this eventually becomes an ocean basin. So then it's underwater. It fills with water. So that's pretty much the two types of divergent spreading. Divergent spreading is also considered constructive because it creates new land, new lithosphere, I mean, and it actually spreads at a rate of 2 inches per year. And what I was reading, it said that that's about as fast as your nail growth throughout a year. Okay, so moving on to convergent. This is considered a destructive type of creation of landmass, I guess. Convergent happens when This happens when two plates come into contact with each other and then push up, creating mountains, volcanoes, islands, etc. So then, with that in mind, there's three types of those. Three types of convergent subductions. So the first one is continental oceanic. And this is when the oceanic lithosphere subducts into the continental plate and creates volcanic arcs, continental volcanic arcs. So there you have it. That's the volcano that's created after this lithosphere pushes down into the continental lithosphere. So let's write continental volcanic arcs. Okay, so the second type of subduction is oceanic. And this subduction is when the oceanic lithosphere subducts into another oceanic lithosphere, creating volcanoes in the water. So it eventually becomes volcanic island arcs, because there's usually more than just one volcano in the water. There has to be several because the land is pretty big, pretty thick, pretty wide. Okay, so the third one is continental. And this is similar to the oceanic, except it occurs on land. So the land, one piece of land subducts into the other, creating mountains. So the all of these actually create more than one mountain or volcano. Hence the word arcs, mountain ranges. Because you have to consider that it's a big area that's being subducted into another lithospheric plate. So say we're standing here and then the lithospheric plate is pushing under us. So it's kind of moving under like this. So that's it. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. We need one more. Okay, so the one that I was forgetting about is transform plate. Transform boundary. This is actually when two slabs of lithospheric plate just slide past each other. They don't touch, they don't come into contact with each other, they don't create or destroy. They just slide past one another without changing any formation of land. They slide back. They slide and then they slide back. It's interesting because these are the ones that cause earthquakes to happen. Earthquakes are known for destruction. But they don't actually, what this means is that it doesn't, by destruction, it means that it doesn't create any type of geological, what can I say? Geological formation. So like no mountains are made, no volcanoes are made, there's none of that, no volcanic arcs, no volcanic islands. They just slide past each other and then slide back. So that's all I have to say about the plates. And then now I'm just gonna ramble. Okay, so this is actually Obsidian, I think. It's this one, I'm not sure. The thing is, I have some kind of obsidian rock somewhere. I don't know if it's this one or if this is like the fake one. Or some other rock and I'm mistaking it with this one. But I'm sure I have an obsidian rock because my professor let us take home rocks to analyze and make notes on them for extra credit, like if we could identify what type of rock it was and what minerals or how it was made, when it was made, where can you find this type of rock. He gave us extra credit if we identified everything, or at least tried, I think. And well, I ended up taking one of his obsidian rocks. I didn't mean to keep it. I don't remember how it happened, but I think I had forgotten that I had it. And when we were taking our finals, I completely forgot that I had it and that I needed to return it. I returned the other rocks, and this one, I believe, and another rock I kept by accident. Yeah, I kept them, and unintentionally, but I'm glad I kind of did. I mean, he is a geology teacher. I'm sure he's come across loads of these, and I mean, it's not good that I kept it, but I hope he's not as upset that I kept it. So yeah, I really liked this class because it was really challenging, actually, really challenging class. There was a lot of things to learn, and remember. But I guess that's what made it fun. Like, it was challenging, and I knew I had to get it. There was one right answer for everything, and I guess that's why I got into it, because I knew there had to be an answer to it, even though it felt like it didn't sometimes. I've loved rocks all my life. My brother actually had a collection of rocks, and I would always just kind of look through his rocks, and I don't know, I just found it really interesting. He also had this like collection of cards with mineral information, with the whole rock information on it, like who, what, when, or why. And I remember his box of rocks, it was like a transparent box, like a tackle box, and inside each little compartment he had a rock, and then with the name of the rock, I think, maybe I'm recalling wrong, but I knew that each compartment had a little rock. And I think he had an amethyst, and then he had this other rock, like gold or copper, I don't know, but it was like really geometrical, and a whole bunch of other rocks that I don't remember. I just remember those. Oh, and this big giant amethyst rock. Maybe one day I'll see if I can show you. Okay, so I think that's all for today.